Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. This is CryptoVatsik. I would really appreciate it if you gave that like button a hit to support the channel. And if you find this content helpful, please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on my future updates. As always, this is not financial advice and our opinions only. All right, let's go. Okay, so this is going to be an update video on some previous analysis I shared previously in a video in August covering Atom, Link, and MATIC. I'm going to post that previous TA video up here right now. So if you want to go watch it, you can. But I've left all of my original drawings on the charts, so I can easily recap it here briefly for you as well. And then we'll get into where I think these assets are headed next. So let's go. All right, starting off with Cosmos, Atom, USDT, 12-hour on Binance. Okay, so previously in that video, this is exactly what I had drawn out. Okay, so we had this green area of interest that was holding as support. Okay, it was a key level during this bearish consolidation. Call it what you want, bullish order block at the time. It's green because it's support, and we had held that. And at the time of the video, I think we were basically right up here, right where this drawing begins, because I had drawn out kind of what my thoughts were if we were going to hold this overall diagonal channel, ascending channel. And really at the end of the day, though, I do like to stick to horizontals because you can see lots of these deviations. And at the time we saw this deviation. And that's kind of why I said I didn't like using diagonals that much. So I like to stick to horizontals. And we came right back down into this green area, okay, again, and we tested it as support. And so basically what I had said was if we can hold this overall level and this diagonal, then yeah, I would expect that we'd come up to the top of the diagonals band and come into this resistance area around $15. And this resistance area from $15, if you remember from that other video, was marked out from this previous breakout of market structure, right? So we had basically this massive range form and this long-term ceiling before the bear trend of this in 2021, kind of during the summer of 2021. We finally broke out right here, okay? So we broke out, we had this bullish consolidation, price was tightening, we broke out, we retested it here as support. It's a bullish retest, and that was a major break in market structure. We made a new high in comparison to this previous lower high, right? So I had marked out that area. I said, guys, we're coming up to resistance. I could see us tagging $15 so long as we hold this area. And yeah, you could say it held the diagonal, sure. But yeah, I mean, this would have faked me out too, right? If you're using this ascending channel, you would have seen a breakout, bearish retest, and think it's coming lower, right? And so I would have probably cut my position as well. But if you just stick to the horizontal and you said, okay, we've held this horizontal, we can dip in here, I'm invalidated below this, but I'll enter basically on a dip inside this green zone, then you'd be sitting all right. And, I mean, sure, the squiggly is not followed exactly, but basically at the end of the day, we came back up to where my target was, right? We came back up to this $15 area, actually deviated above a couple times, and now we're right back down in here. And so, yeah, I mean, that previous, let me just put the previous channel again on. Okay, so if you like the diagonal, then your methodology is pretty simple, right? Hold the diagonal, hold this line, and be careful of these deviations. But if you're like me, then I would probably stick to a resistance. And I'm looking at this area over here now. Okay, so basically, I think it was maybe on the daily. What did we get here? Yeah, so on the daily, we've got this green candle that was invalidated, obviously a bearish order block at the time. So this would have been a red area. But now this is basically our new area of support. This previous one down here. Now we flipped this one up here. And so that's our bullish order block at this point, okay? And so now I would just want to see this area hold, and we're holding the top of that block nicely so far. Doesn't mean we can't dip in below and come back down and test some of these highs here, but basically that's the key pivot point for me right now. And price is starting to pinch, so you get this huge volatility, these big waves and then dips, and now it's really starting to pinch. So overall, what I want to see is a break in this market structure, okay? I want to see a break of this previous high, okay, with a candle close above and a bullish retest. We've talked about this. Candle close above, so that's a higher high in comparison to this high here, and then a bullish retest, okay? And so that would be my key point, that this trend's not over, and we're going to go further up, okay? Now, since price is pinching, I think there is a big move coming here soon, so I won't guarantee if it's up or down, but when price starts to pinch like this, usually implies that a strong move is coming. So, maybe over the weekend we get some more chop kind of thing, but Monday maybe then we see the real decision maker. But all in all, the trend is being held. Okay, so higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. This is probably the first one that we really didn't have a definitive higher high. We've got this wick up here. Okay, so basically did not make a higher high, actually made a lower high, and only one candle close above this candle close here. So really not definitive. In my opinion, it's kind of a swing failure pattern, honestly. So this is now that point where it's really deciding if this move is over. Are we going to come back down and test this bullish order block down here and sweep some of these lows, or are we going to come back up and start testing some of these key areas here, kind of thing, right? So we've swept this low here. So then next obvious area for me is basically just under $20 on Atom. So that's all you can do, right? You can guess as much as you want in the future, but really your only data points are to the left, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking to the left, and then obviously some key pivot points up here where we eventually broke down here, the origin of this breakdown here where we made new lows back there. So couple areas up there if this was to hold, but I've already explained what I want to see here in order for that to happen. Okay, moving on to Link now. I know this is a really busy chart. I shared this in the previous video. I went into detail about what all of this means, but really, guys, at the end of the day, not much has changed. Okay, we're still just bouncing around, playing ping pong between this range here, between the EQ and the upper band. Okay, yeah, a couple deviations above, but really, it's not much has changed. We had our bullish order block down here, okay, which we bounced off of, came back up, reclaimed this mid-range there, the EQ and the dotted line, came back up, touched the upper band, and just really, swing failure pattern, didn't make a higher high, so that trend, that upward trend failed, that move, and then came back down, just retested the range low, right? Or sorry, the mid-range there. So plan remains the same, right? We reclaim the upper band as support with some higher time frame, maybe on the daily. This is on the 12-hour right now, but a significant reclaim and a higher high and a retest. Then yeah, okay, sure, you could take a short-term long scenario there with a couple take profits on the way up. Otherwise, really this could just ping pong right back down to the mid range and even come lower. And so my short trigger would basically be, I said down here that this would be a short trigger, but we've still got this bullish order block really acting as support. We had a very nice bounce off of it there. So at this point, if I'm actually really wanting to short Link, I'd be looking for a break in market structure. Okay. And what I mean by that more specifically is exactly what we see right there. Okay, so basically we made higher highs, higher lows, and then we made a lower low on these wicks. Okay, let's zoom in there. Made a lower low right there, and then we had our bearish retest. Okay, this green candle, that's your trigger. Well, sorry, your trigger was once we made a lower low. Okay, this market structure of higher lows and higher highs has been broken by this big red candle. So then you don't want to just enter right here when people are buying it back up and getting an ABC correction down. You want to buy somewhere near the top of this green candle, right, with an invalidation below either the top of this closed candle close or the wick. That could be a bit of a not the greatest R&R. So you'd have to decide, right? You'd have to decide your risk management, maybe above these candle closes there. But at the end of the day, that's where you'd want to be entering to take a short-term short. So basically, I'll just draw it out exactly what I want to see right here. So something just like that, guys. Break in market structure. Okay, come back up, a little bit of a buyback, just an ABC down, and your entry's right there. Okay, so I'd be targeting the mid-range basically. So it's if you got your entry there, then mid-range, yeah, it's a 10-12% move. Sure, it's great. If you're looking to scalp and make some money during this bear market, there's nothing wrong with that. But in my opinion, these are just kind of scalps and short-term trades. You got to really be on the ball and have your targets. And if you're looking for the long, then I'd be wanting to reclaim this upper band. Okay, so I'll just draw again with candles exactly what I mean. Okay, something like this, guys. Powerful move, definitive move above the level, okay, and not right back down to that level on the next red candle or below it, right? So like right here, we saw it smash through, definitive move, but then the next candle immediately back, closing below it kind of thing, and give it some room, wiggle room, okay? But essentially, and then back up on these long wicks and then back down below it. We really want to see that powerful move, get through it, and then hover up, I would say 2 to 3 candles minimum closes above this level. And what would be great, an ideal situation, a perfect world, is you get a little wick on that one right there. You get a little wick down and tapping it, but then closed, and then you start to see that next green one making a new high, right? And so that's where you got to start taking the risk to say, okay, I'm going to enter in here, right? So you're going to enter on the bottom of that red candle, and then your stop loss right below the level kind of thing, and that's where you just got to start taking risks. So that's the perfect setup. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but you just didn't see it over here, and that's what I'm waiting for if I want to take a long. So I guess that's kind of it for Link. Okay, so again, drawings are unchanged on this from the previous video. Okay, so obviously just I went over that at the time of the video. We were sitting right here. We had an ascending wedge, and I said, yeah, I think we could probably even break out above, and I would expect us to come right back down to this level and tap this area. Okay, this key area where we broke above this previous level of bearish consolidation. Okay, this previous SR level. These were untapped lows, in my opinion, and I said I would expect us to maybe have some pump and come right back down. It just took longer to play out, and we came higher than I expected, right into the origin of this breakdown. Okay, so basically the origin of that breakdown here of that market structure, right, where we made a lower low. Okay, we made a lower low here, and so we broke that market structure, and it just came back up, swept that liquidity, and then came back down, and then just tested this area here, this area of liquidity, and that's from the drawing right there, you guys, almost bang on to the point. So now, the question is if we can get out of this area and break some market structure. But that's your question, is where is the break in market structure? Because that's your new key point, right? This was our key point here where we broke that. And so I expected us to come back out and test that area, okay? And you can see it almost everywhere, just as another example, okay? So basically down here, where was that break in market structure? Lower highs, we made our low, and then right here, we made a higher high, okay? So we broke out of this lower low trend, lower high trend, and you just draw a line over. We came right back down. That was our key pivot to break out of this bearish market structure, okay? With confidence, came back down, retested it, and then up. So now you're asking yourself, where is that key break in market structure? Well, we had this key bullish consolidation, okay? It's swept now from here. So my next area would be the key break, the break of this previous high. Okay, where we broke out of this area would just be this level, this solid line at 63 cents. I'd be targeting that. Okay, that's what I'd be looking at right now. Something we're coming up into this area of resistance now. Okay, from these previous SR, we've lost that SR. It's not support, it's resistance now. We're coming back. There's a candle already coming down. Anyways, yeah, so that's what I'm targeting. I don't think I wouldn't be taking a short right now, but I'd be looking for longs down there in that area. But again, just on a bit of a more macro scale, yeah, we've broken that market structure. This is nice to see, but we're just kind of ping-ponging around in this overall macro range, and everyone's asking the same question: are we going to break these lows? Are we coming down, and are we going to smash through and make new lows, or is this our bottom, our generational bottom, and we're headed to all-time highs? Nobody knows. I don't know. I won't pretend I do. That's why you have to play this day by day based on what you see, and that's why it takes time, right? So you look left though, there's some areas here as well. This was our previous range, so this area of bearish consolidation is an interesting one. This range is quite large though. So in all honesty, this is what I'm seeing for MATIC. It doesn't look too bad. The trend is bullish. On a bit more of a shorter time frame, right? Since we've made this lower, making higher highs, and then now this could just be a correction before we going up. So we just got to play it day by day, you guys. That's all we can do. All right, thank you so much for joining, you guys. I really appreciate the support, and I really hope this video helped you in some way. Feel free to go back to that other video and watch it if you're interested. I'll continue to post videos and TA as much as I possibly can. So I thank you for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one.